Good afternoon. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is Monday, December 15th. I'm here today officially to sign the 2026 Westchester County budget. The $2.5 billion budget, tax cap compliant, budget cuts across almost every department by 8%, including the county executive's office, eliminating 180 positions, essentially cutting the county's workforce by almost 5%. Let me be clear. This budget was not shaped by ideology or politics, but reality. In our uncertain times, our responsibility is to lead, and this budget does exactly that. The $2.5 billion budget was shaped by one of the most challenging financial climates we have faced in years. The difficulties from 2025 will carry into 2026 and likely beyond, and this budget reflects the hard, necessary choices before us. This budget is a direct response to the Trump turmoil coming out of Washington and the County Board of Legislators, the County Executive's Office, and all the people from Westchester County, all of the departments that worked through that, understood the job, and were able to come up with this particular budget, which we'll be signing today. Before we get there, I certainly want to start by thanking some of the team that has led this effort, starting with Joe McDonald, Emily Saltzman, and Karen Pasquale from our operations team, working side by side with us, Deputy County Executive Richard Wishney, to help navigate through this, the Budget Director Larry Soule, and the Deputy Budget Director Christina Rampata, and certainly our folks from Finance, Commissioner Karen Hablow, and Deputy Commissioner Cesar Vargas, helped to shape the budget. This work starts in June. Not in November or October, November. It starts in June when those call letters go out from Director Soule to the departments, and then there's many, many meetings to get to this point, and we certainly want to thank our team that pulled all this together. In this particular budget effort, we talked about the county departments undergoing an average of an 8% savings across the board. That meant a hard hiring freeze and the elimination of 180 positions, which saved $28 million. Reductions in contracts, technical services, and expenses at $34.5 million. Reductions in overtime for hourly wage employees, $11.6 million. Right-sizing social services relief at $5.2 million, and reductions in equipment purchases, materials, and supplies that gave us about $7.2 million worth of additional opportunities to be able to save. In the 2026 adopted operating budget, the county is facing unavoidable financial pressures from the federal government that are largely mandated or tied to those essential services, starting with the rising healthcare costs. Those are close to $50 million. Pension growth mandated by the state at $14 million. Transportation and utilization for children with special needs, another $10 million, and an increase in debt service at $13 million. And despite those mounting financial pressures, we remain committing to protecting the programs that residents rely on the most, maintaining essential services, essentially, and ensuring that funding continues for the programs that support those most in need, from vulnerable children to critical social services and community resources. That program funding will support food security efforts, ensuring those victims of domestic violence have protection and resources they need, continuing to offer free vaccine clinics, because we believe in science, recycling opportunities, and maintaining that free workforce development programs and services, including one-stop and local jobs fairs, job training, and entrepreneurial support. The county is also budgeted to continuing senior nutrition programming and our TIPS, the telehealth initiative, and keeping our mobile crisis teams and youth mental health programs in place. Just a reminder that the TIPS program started years ago from initiative from the Board of Legislators. Legislator Alvarado was the one that initiated that particular program. We additionally have allocated dollars for low-income daycare at $16.6 million. The Access to Council Eviction Prevention Program, $3.7 million, initiated by the Board of Legislators. The city child care scholarships at $2.5 million, an increase of $500,000 from the Board of Legislators adds. The mental health clinics at $1.5 million. Our federally qualified health centers at $1 million. Black maternal health care program at $500,000, the HERO program continuing at $300,000. The bottom line out of it is this $2.5 billion budget. It was tax cap compliant, and it is. The budget means that the average homeowner will pay roughly $3 per month more to sustain the level of service that they expect from this county government, and that's what they deserve. The people of Westchester overwhelmingly understood the difficult choices before us, and that's why we're here today. Before we sign the 2026 operating budget, we're going to take a second, sign the budget, and then we're going to ask the Chairman of the Board of Legislators, Vidat Gashi, and Jewel Williams-Johnson, the Chair of Budget and Appropriation, to give their thoughts, and then we'll close things up. Again, the work that was done was tremendous from the 4,500 employees that we have and all those leaders that brought in all that information, and then the Board of Legislators in their due diligence. So first we're going to sign the budget, then we'll ask the Chairman of the Board, Jewel Williams-Johnson, to come up just a moment. You want to go? You want the photo off for that, or you want to?
You do it.
Come on. We can do it. We can do second. We'll do it at the end. All right. So it's the 15th day of September, the first day of Hanukkah, and 10 days before Christmas. Get your shopping in. All right. We now have that budget. So with that, let's ask first the Chairman of the Board of Legislators, Vidat Gashi, to come up, and Jewel Williams-Johnson. Why don't you come up together, and we'll keep moving from there. All right? Mr. Chairman. Jewel.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. I'd like to note as we start that we are also joined here in person by Majority Leader David M. Mamora, Majority Whip Terry Clemens, also legislators Judah Holstein, Nancy Barr, and legislator Shanae Williams. And this really is a group effort. As was mentioned, this is the toughest budget that I've been around and available for. And it's no secret why it is so tough. It has been made difficult by the actions of the federal government and the president. The resulting economic situation that we're in forces us to take some really difficult decisions. We recognize those challenges, and frankly, I think we met it head on. We were able to, because we had wonderful leadership through the process by Legislator Jewel Williams-Johnson as chair of the Budget Committee, and because of the input of the public, who joined us for 3 different public input sessions, talked to us about the things that they regarded as important, and made sure that we fought for those things. It was a difficult budget. It required some difficult decisions to be made, and County Executive Jenkins mentioned some of those. But I'll note that we didn't have any layoffs through this budget. We recognize that the services provided by the people working for this county are absolutely vital and necessary, and I was proud to have a tough budget where we didn't have layoffs. It was tax cap compliant, it was fiscally responsible, it's a balanced budget, and on time. Not everybody can say that, and I think it's something we can be proud of. So while it is a difficult budget and going to be, it's I think responsible, and I appreciate the efforts of everybody included, everybody working together to make sure that we have the best product possible. And I want to thank the county executive. I want to thank his team. I want to thank my colleagues and the public, who are all vitally responsible and necessary to make this possible. So thank you very much, and I would now turn to Jewel.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. As introduced, I'm Legislator Jewel Williams-Johnson, and really both the county executive and our chairman, really laid out all the poignant points about the last couple of months as we've deliberated. Yes, it is true that we are feeling the effects of the federal decisions, and we are, I think this budget, I'm confident that this budget braces us in good standing for what's to come down the road. And I would just like to overemphasize our gratitude, my gratitude as chair of the Committee on Budget and Appropriations to all of my colleagues, especially our Budget and Appropriations Vice Chair, Nancy Barr, and our Majority Leader who led our caucuses and as we reviewed, contemplated, and played out scenarios and negotiations. This was a collaborative effort, and we can't thank our county executive and his team enough for everything that that was poured into coming up with their initial proposal. And I'm super proud of my colleagues, the entire Board of Legislators, and their buy-in to accomplishing what was just signed today, led by our chairman, Vedat Ghashi. We are, as I said, we are bracing for what's to come down the pike, but always with the needs and the desires of all of the residents of Westchester County and what will be best for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jewel Williams-Johnson, the Chair of Budget and Appropriations, and certainly the Chair of the Board, and all the colleagues that Vedat Ghashi and all of the legislators that are here. Having been a recovering legislator myself, and Richard Wishney, our Deputy County Executive, who also was Budget Chair as well, we understand the difficult work the Board of Legislators had. Again, we started with work that was done by the professional team before all of us get into a $2.5 billion budget, which at the end of the day had about $9 million worth of tweaks that was in it, but juggling things around. But out the $2.5 billion budget, the majority of that stayed intact from all of our views, making sure that we were going to continue to invest in services that were not necessarily required by mandate, but because of the work that we like doing, and whether that was supporting more money for childcare, continuing an initiative that the Board of Legislators adopted for making sure that we had counsel and be able to help people in situations without dipping into the savings account to make sure that we were able to do this, because we know the challenges are going to come. We understand that. It's not a question. It's like, but is that now? Is that the emergency? Are you pulling the red emergency button and hitting that a little too soon? And again, because of the work going back and forth, and it's never pretty. Watching the sausage get made is not pretty. But between the 3 public sessions the Board of Legislators conducted, the 2 ones pre-budget that we had to make sure to get input from people, and quite honestly, the comments from everyone around. The overwhelming majority of the people of Westchester understood what difficult choices we had to make, and they supported everyone across the board in doing that. So we got a particular opportunity to continue to move forward, understanding here in Westchester, the chaos and uncertainty coming out of Washington forced those hard choices for us here in Westchester at every level of government. It's not just ours at the county level. Local municipalities have to face the same thing. Certainly our state faces those same kind of challenges. And again, when you have people that are dedicated to doing the work, because it's not easy work. It is not easy to tell people that things that you really like to do, that we're going to have to make some adjustments in them. We want to keep them going, but then we just can't keep them going at the same level. That's very difficult to do. And again, kudos to the Board of Legislators for doing that navigation of work. But the setup for that was the work all of us put down together to let people know how challenging this world was and how we were going to move that forward. So here in Westchester, we met that moment with discipline, honesty, and resolve, and that's why we have a budget that's adopted on time, in budget, and we're doing the things, again, to continue the affordability for people here in Westchester County. There is no one that has understood better than any of us. $3 per month is $3 per month to have the level of services, the things that happen here in Westchester County, and whether that's in the nationally accredited and award-winning park system, but more importantly, across the board for the social services that we have to do and things that we don't have to do that we know are important for the people of Westchester and to continue those moving forward. We cut where we had to, protected what matters most, and delivered a budget that keeps Westchester stable, compassionate, and fiscally sound. With that, I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.